The way a woman treats her husband, the way she reverence, the way she respects him is basically a reflection of her submission to the Lord. The way a woman treats.
Yes, that's very true on what this man is saying. Very, very true. I agree with him 100% because the way a woman treats her husband is the way she submits herself to God, to Yahweh, man. And she's also having respect of the order because she respects Yahweh, she respects Yahweh Shai, she respects man, she respects herself, and she loves her children and respect her kids. Because the order is that she defines herself through this order. You could tell when a woman doesn't understand the respectful order that the Lord has already set up. You know, it's very imperative that wives understand this, because your job is to be submissive and to be led by your husband. And there's many, many beautiful women with a with a good spirit, and those type of women, they are the ones most likely that be kept in a marriage for many years to come. And it's very difficult for a man to just choose any kind of woman. But a lot of these men are not taught what a marriage is. They're not taught the consummation of what a marriage is supposed to be between man and wife, right? Between man and woman, wife and husband, right? Rather. And the way she treats you is the way she treats herself and how she acts according to the Lord. Certain women have this finicky behavior, and it's not conducive to a spiritual man's lifestyle if she's being belligerent, being a foolish woman out here. She's not being sober-minded. She's out here doing bad things. A woman can do all these things, man, and cause issues, man, to a man's life and disrupt his focus. Because the greatest men that you see on this planet has fell down by the hands of a woman. Not all women are like this, but the majority of the women are like this because their mind is corrupt. Their mind has been seduced by Satan. And when a woman is like that, she will put your life into danger. She'll put your life into serious problems or even get you killed, But there are cases where wives have not obeyed the law, the law of the land and the law of the Bible. She disengaged and disregard, and she caused disproportionate behaviors and acts into the marriage. You know what I'm saying? But a loving woman, not saying that she won't do things to make you upset or get you to, whatever, but at least she understands her ground, and she knows how to respect boundaries. But for instance, man, women will do it to you all the time. My wife, she won't go past certain boundaries because she know in a heartbeat I'm gonna correct her so fast before she can breathe her next breath. You know what I'm saying? Because she know I don't tolerate no BS. So once in a while she'll try to get mad or do shit to you or to me, because the women constantly challenge your boundaries, see what they can get away with. Just like Thursday, my daughter had a graduation, so she's constantly texting, and with her job and calling certain people, to get them in order in a certain line with certain things. But her being frustrated, I was saying something to my son, but it wasn't really dealing with her. And I was like, yo, man, I wish they could have just had us come into the auditorium instead of us waiting out here, just in case if it had rain, or, you know, they should prepared already. So she was like, oh, no, you can't just say that. So I was going to tell her, I said, yo, man, who you talking to? I told her, I said, yo, man, I said, listen, man, I ain't listening to you. You know? And you got to check them, man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't let it hinder my spirit. I don't let it come my way. I don't give it energy because you're going through something through work and the text and it's aggravating you. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I mean? But you ain't going to shit the energy over here. You know what I'm saying? Before you do that, I'll cuss your ass out. Something terrible. But the reason why I'm saying is because women do these things and they make a lot of assumptions. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm leaving today, going out to do what I have to do. So my wife thought I was going to the store. She said, oh, yeah, but I already ordered stuff like juice and stuff. And you know, I said, yo, I said, who said I was going to the store? I never told you that. I said, did you hear me tell you that? She said, no. So I said, why you assuming that I'm going to the store? Because you said earlier we have nothing to drink. You understand? Doesn't mean I was going to the store. You understand? So you took it upon yourself to order something to drink. That's on you because we have something to drink. But we're just running low because there's 7 of us in the house. It's a lot of us. You know what I mean? So we constantly got to have beverages in the house. You know what I mean? But we always have a lot of alkaline water, you know. But it just, this day just ran out. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have nothing to drink really that we can really get to it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have juices and little stuff for the kids and whatever, right? But, so I had to let her know. I'm like, who told you I was going to the store? Because you see me getting dressed. Did you ask me? Like, no, all right, so why you assuming? Don't assume for me. You don't know what's in my thought. You don't know what's in my mind. You don't know what I'm thinking. And she got quiet. But obviously, this is the thing. Women like to step down. They like to go, you know what I mean? So she thinking that you going to do something because she doing something. No. Stop doing stuff. Ask first before you jump the gun. But I'm not saying don't buy or order something. But you don't know. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing. But out of respect, I let my wife know, listen, baby, look, boom, 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 I'm going out, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know? I'm not giving nobody no explanation why I'm going and what time I'm coming in and out. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? But out of respect for my wife, I try to be, coherent in the home. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's the respect level that I'm trying to have, for myself and for my wife. You understand? But I'm telling y'all women, y'all be assuming and making all these assumptions, and these assumptions are not true, what you're saying. Or thinking, you understand, of a man. But when y'all do something or someone catch y'all doing something or, you trying to play it off dumb like nobody doesn't know anything. But we know. You understand? We're not accusing you. We ain't saying nothing. See, the worst thing about guilt for an evil wife is that she's quick to cover up something, or she'll blatantly do it because she know that she'll disrespect your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Or pretend like you stupid, like you don't know. Everybody ain't stupid. You think let me explain something. There's nothing in this life that you have to waste your breath on everything because a woman is doing something. Don't waste it. Don't waste your breath, man. You waste your breath and energy, you becoming a fool. Don't let her get you out your character because she's doing something foolish. You understand? So you always stay in your frame. You understand? What women do doesn't affect what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? So don't let them do shit. Some women like to be a little sneaky and giggly in, and then when you come in the room, they want to be quiet, and fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So when they quiet, don't say something, I don't say shit. I walk the fuck out. You understand? You know what I mean? And or I'll just say, yo, I'm like, yo, whatever y'all talking about, ain't nothing spiritual. It's either a gossiping, demonizing, or you talking shit about somebody, or you're looking at something that you ain't supposed to be looking. You looking at it because somebody coming in the room and you trying to fall back. You understand? So I said, yo, y'all not spiritual. Satan got your minds. You understand? I call it out, or you know what I mean, or if I feel like I need to say something, I'll say. If I don't, it don't matter. I keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just adding these examples or these things into relationships. Sometimes you can't allow a lot of things to hinder you or bother you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let things go. You understand? And I'm not saying let that dictate your life, but accept for what things are. You can't make things become how you want because you're living right or you're being right. People have things that they do, and they sneaky, man. You know. So if a wife, I'm not saying a wife gotta share every little thing with you. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you don't gotta share everything with her. Everything's not meant for her to know. Everything's not meant for you to know from her. You understand? So we gotta stop putting ourselves in this situation. Yeah, it's fucked up because you thinking that she should have no kind of secrets or she told you about anything. She can talk to you about things, but there's things that she don't have to discuss with you. You understand? It don't have to mean that it's infidelity or adultery because we don't want to accuse people. Sometimes you want to just let people be who they are, you know. So not everything I tell my wife. I don't tell her everything, or I don't give her what I'm thinking all the time. I don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't share that with her because she doesn't need to know that. You understand what I'm saying? So if I want whatever I want to share, I give what I want to share. And I'm gonna tell her all of it. I'll tell her what she needs, what she wants to hear, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? You know. But as me being her husband, you got to show forth that you got some kind of care or love for the woman. You understand what I'm saying? Do things for the woman, because women love this world. Women love the metropolitan city of this world, and they love to go shop and they love to do all these things, and you know, because this world is catered to a demographic type, and women are the most spenders on this planet, especially black women. They are the highest consumers on this planet. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when a couple guys that I knew, man, older G's that was telling me, older cats, and even LL Cool J said this too. He said that when his music, his main target audience was women. So he knew that if he could get the women and the man is with the girl, and she said, oh, baby, I like that. He trying to please her. What he gonna do? He gonna go out his way to go get them LL Cool J tickets to please her, make her happy, shut her the fuck up, and then go with her to see the show and go back at home at night and give him some pussy. So, you know, excuse my language how I'm explaining this, but these are the things that men, all these simple ass men do. You know what I'm saying? But there's other ways you could go around these things, man. Not everything that you do got to be self-sufficient or pleasing to your woman. You please your woman because you're showing that you appreciate her, that you care for the things she's done, and she earned it. You understand that? So if she don't deserve it, if she don't earn it, and she's acting belligerent and she's wild, you do not reward her with bad behavior. You reward her when she's doing good by you, she's doing good by herself, she's putting in the effort, she's doing the honorable things in the eyes of the Lord, and she's being generous, is being kind to others around her. You understand? She has a big heart of helping people. So just remember those things, man. Women do these things because they're very sexual, very high pergamous, and they're curious, but they don't want you to do nothing. They want you to be, it is what it is. No. You feel me? What I realize in this world, women are still gonna do what they gotta do. So they do what they're gonna do, you do what you gotta do. Don't care about their feelings, because they didn't think about what they were doing to you. You understand? You know, so it is what it is. You know, you reap what you sow. Okay? So if a woman is no good and she's doing certain shit, and you know, when you start to still be around her, and fuck it, have another woman. Have multiple women. Do what is pleasing to you, but do it righteously. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't do it out of because you're trying to hurt the girl or you trying to be deliberate, because now two wrongs don't make a right. But I know you trying to make it even. You trying to make it even. You know, don't do that. That's corny. You understand? Don't try to prove a point that I got women there and I got this and that. Nah, you don't got to do all that. Women will come to you naturally in how you carry yourself. You understand? You don't got to force feed yourself to get a woman, and that should be on your mind all day. Your mind should be busy of doing things and letting your life be fulfilled still without a woman being there. When she comes, she's a plus to your life. Okay? Let's get a scripture here, right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes, the 26th chapter, first verse. It says, blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. There you go. So the number of your days shall be doubled. Because you have a virtuous wife, and now your days going to be double, because she's going to make your life so much easier. She's going to honor you. She's going to do things for you. She's going to make things happen for you. And she's going to make your life as much as possible. And sometimes with me, when I'm with my wife, sometimes I do get upset. Sometimes I don't like the way she shake and bake at times. Because I don't move that way. And she don't move that way, but sometimes it's a part of her nature that she can't help it. So that they do things and they don't think that somebody's gotta check them. You know, so you gotta check people. You know, you gotta check them. You know, you ain't being mean. You're not being disrespectful, but you gotta check them. Because if you don't check them, they're gonna constantly test the fucking waters. Men, you got certain men out here that do test the water, test women boundaries and certain whatever, boom, boom. Because men and women do have boundaries, you know. But certain men that do that, you know, you're focusing on a low vibration. Real men of high stature do not disrespect women's boundaries. They do not do that. Because you don't get nothing out of it but pain, hurt, and self-humiliation. You don't do that to anybody, embarrassed in front of people. Come on, you treat people according to how you want to be treated. But if you treating this young lady bad and horrible, and let's say she didn't do no wrong to you, or she was good to you and kind to you, you know, and she know that, and God knows between y'all three that what's going on. And the way you keep treating her, then you get mad when somebody else want to come around and treat her right. You feel what I'm saying? Now you got some women trying to use the false act of, oh, you doing this, so I know. Oh, so I figure I'll move on, man. No. Sometimes they use that to play the victim card. It's two different things. You got some good women out here that be into relationships that with certain men are just fucking pure dicks. You know what I'm saying? They are men that's pure dicks. But let's keep it real. 95% of the relationship, women be destroying the relationship. You understand? So men got to cut it off. Women destroy relationships because they're cowards. They don't got the balls to tell a man that they want to be a freak or they want to be someone with somebody else. So they do all extra shit so you could break up with them. You know what I'm saying? But automatically you should have been broken with them before it got that bad. You say, all right, you know what? This is enough. I'm done. I'm cutting this shit off. I don't play games with women. If I tell women something and she don't listen to me, I'm cutting her off. You understand? That's it. I'm cutting her off. You know what I mean? I had plenty of women that almost made a lot of the cuts, but they blew it. You understand? They blew it. They always blowing it. It's not because of me, it's because of them. Because my standard is at a certain level where I expect for them to be a better version of them, but don't disrespect me in the process, or they do shit it don't make any sense. You understand? So I always tell guys, man, I'm not trying to be carnal or worldly here, people. I always tell guys, if you always had sex with that woman before, you can always have sex with her again. You know? She may be mad at you or not deal with you no more, but you can always hit it again. But I advise you, don't do it. Don't never go back and have sex with that woman again. Never. Because she already stepped around on you, or after you broke her, she's going to sleep and fuck somebody else. Women going to do that. So you move on. You find another woman and you be with her. You understand? And you deal with her, man. You know, try not to deal with women with kids. Let that not be your first choice. All right, find a woman that has no kids. But look at her background. Is her background and her family is right? Are they treating, is she come from a respectable background? Because when you marry her, you marry the family. You marry what they are. You understand what I'm saying? In most cases. You know, but certain women that you see, you say, okay, damn, all right, that person, okay, her uncle's, he's a nice guy. Her aunt's a nice woman. Her cousin's very respectful. They have a lot of respect. They cool. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man, even her friends is very respectful. You know, if you see these quality things of this woman, man, she cooking for you, she doing this and that, doing this without her actually getting the legal quote-unquote marriage certificate, she's your wife, man. And I'll be stupid to let her go. You understand? Because now you have a helpmate. She's willing to do what is necessary for you. You know what I'm saying? These women out here, man, a lot of these women out here, sometimes they play and pretend, and then they start showing their real character. Sometimes women, they're very good actors. But sometimes you gotta bring it out of. I know how to bring it out of a woman all the time. That's why they're not here. They always fail. That's why they don't stay. I bring it out of them all the time. All the time. You know? And I said, okay, all right, this is enough. All right, she did well. All right, I'll keep her. Even though I'll deal with this little bullshit she got, but I'll keep her. She's better than the rest. You feel me? You know? Was my wife my first choice to marry her? No. She was not. But her being in my proximity, I chose her because of certain things she had done for me, and I saw she went out her way for me. So when I saw that, I said, okay, this is why I can make her my wife. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I didn't see other women were doing the things that she was doing at that time. But I had women doing things for me as time went on, you know what I'm saying? But then they started to get influenced by people around them, you know what I'm saying? And it destroyed it, and then now they try to come back and look for, no, you don't come over here, you don't come by me, you do not get anything by me. You don't get anything from me, you don't come by me. That chapter's closed, and that's fine. Find a man that you're willing to submit to. And that's all. But if you gotta submit to some man, it just ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely ain't gonna give you my fucking resource. So any successful thing I got going on in this life and I make it, you not getting none of that. You know, and you can say, well, I don't care, I don't gotta get that. Then fine. You don't gotta get it. Be a wife to a nigga that you think is for you. I'm gonna be a good husband for a woman that I choose or think or that I know that she has the potential to be a wife to me. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is what it is, man. You understand? Don't let these people deter you what you want out of life. Because if you got a support system, or a good wife, a good woman that's there for you, make sure that she gets the reward of this life. You understand? When anything that you got successful going on, until she destroys that, she gets no more access. You know what I'm saying? Treat her like every other woman. Boom. That's what you fellas gotta understand. Keep that back in your mind. Okay? You know, once you start doing things that's not resonating with you and that you don't like, that you don't feel is good, cut her off. All right? Separate her from her if she's out to go astray, and some women will sleep with another man and not tell you and take it to their grave, man. That's very dangerous. That's what the Lord said. He gonna judge us very, very bad, man. A lot of men been with women for all these years. She loved them and do all these things still had sex with another man, and the nigga still don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know? So you gotta be very careful, man, with these women. These women out here, they're not good, man. You know? We got some women that's very loyal. They will never disrespect their bodies like that. Never disrespect themselves. They will always respect themselves. Not saying that they don't see men. Of course they do. But be careful how she's talking. Oh, I'm going to do this. And now, I seen this guy. He looking so cute. I want to holler. When they start doing that, they're disrespecting you. You understand? Fuck that. You don't tolerate no disrespect. Yeah, so, you know, when you see this type of things, man, cut it off. Check them. You know what I mean? You know, and don't let her Don't let her get upset because she already know, all right, well, he got something. Because a lot of women be thinking, okay, well, I ain't going to get too mad no more, whatever. Because a lot of them either two things. They either got a man that you don't know about, and they finally, all right, cool, or he's a potential just in case. If you really fuck up, she going to make him get a chance, because that happens. Or she just not an insecure person, but she get a little jealous, but she know how to, I'm going to just not worry about that, you know what I mean? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at these things. All right, let me read some more. Let me read it again. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. Verse 2, a virtuous wife rejoices of her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. Right? Verse, in peace. He ain't say that she is his peace. He will have peace. His true peace come from God, from Yahweh, reading the scripture. Verse 3, a good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Right? Verse 4, whether a man be rich, right, or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. That's going to make his relationship be even good, because hold on. That's Satan. Satan come to make these loud noises. All right? So if he have a cheerful countenance with the Lord all the time, she see that, and she like, whoa, this dude always in a good mood, or not saying he don't have bad times, bad days, but she know that, damn, man, like, even when things are rough, he don't allow things to shake him. Right? Verse 5, there be three things that let me jump down. Let me go ahead. Verse 13, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. All right? So the way she's very she's not putting herself out there like she's on the market, or you can you can have a chance with me. I know you can have a chance with me. She's not doing that. If she's doing that, be careful with that girl and you leave her. Verse 14, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. You understand what I'm saying? So if her mind's well instructed and she's a silent and loving woman, she's a gift of the Lord. Right? And it doesn't mean because a woman's quiet, she don't talk much, that means that she's a gift of the Lord. Don't fall for that. Do not fall for that. Fellas, don't fall for that. Okay? All right? Because I met plenty of women that was okay. They was quiet. They wasn't too out there. But she still wasn't a gift of the Lord for me. She wasn't sent by the Lord. You understand? But those people are sent for you to learn experiences and have wisdom. When I say learn experiences, you know how people could treat you. You'll know that the way they treat you, the way they carry themselves, what they doing, and how they doing, and how they moving. You understand? Things are always going to be revealed in due time. All right? Verse 15, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. So there's nothing in this world that's going to distract her. I don't care what kind of man is around. She may see him, or she may think he cute, whatever, but she's not going to allow that to disrupt her marriage. And so as for the man, you don't let these silly ass women come in and destroy what you got with your wife. You don't fucking do it. Sometimes these women do things or make lies, or they will come in and just say, you know what, let's fuck with her, man. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Because so what a woman do to a man, he's going to react to how you moving. If you're moving weird and you moving fucking sneaky and all this stupid shit, the man is going to do what he want to. But don't get upset if he's doing something because you're being sneaky. Stop. Don't be sneaky. Men don't like that. But we know that's a part of what you do. That's your nature. But you got to suppress that bad nature. You understand? You're being sneaky for like you doing a surprise event, or you want to welcome him to something, or baby, like, I got a gift for you, or this is why I was acting this way. That's fine. But when you being sneaky and you doing things on a phone, or you doing this, blah, 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 No, at the end of the day, man, sometimes women need to hear the truth from your mouth, man. Even if it hurts them. You know, you're not being disrespectful, but like I said, my wife that I have 5 kids with, she wasn't my first choice. She was not my first choice. I liked her because, okay, all right, she's a Dominican girl. Okay, she may have a Dominicans they treat their guys good, boom, boom, boom. But you gotta understand, women are sneaky. You know what I'm saying? So I know how my wife is. You know what I'm saying? So, but the first girl, the girl that I really wanted to be with, she was Panamanian, and she had her eyes on me, man. To this day, you know, like I said, to this day, you know, she had came across my mind, you know, I mean, at times, you know, because like I said, this woman was the first woman that I thought that I should have been with when I was in high school. And she was kind to me, she was loving to me. She stood, she even took girls like, get away, that's my man, boom, boom. I never seen her do anything crazy. I never heard a reputation about her doing something wicked when I was dealing with her, but it was just unfortunate that she moved and I just lost contact with her. And then when I got to the next year of high school, which I was supposed to graduate, I had to do an extra year because of the transfer from the school. They had a different curriculum. I had to take on their courses, so that's kind of put me behind. And I met my wife, and then I was supposed to have been out of school already. You know what I mean? So I met my wife, but we just, you know, boyfriend girl. We was friends first, and then down the line we started talking and dating, and then, you know, we had our ups and downs of certain things, of me having different women, and you know what I mean. But it doesn't mean that all those women I had sex with. No, you understand? But the thing that she was doing, you know, she was very sneaky. Her friends would do certain things, but she was moving, and so she was very sneaky. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so she'll be very attentive to what's going on, but she don't want me to do it. No, that don't work that way. You know what you do, I'm gonna do just exactly how you do me. You know, but you know, like I said, we talked things out, and you know, and then as time went on, the love was getting stronger, and you know, I always tell people, I said, well, you know, if you treat me bad or you treat me funny, I'm always gonna be funny to you. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna treat you funny, and if you don't want to go nowhere and deal with it, you got to deal with what comes with me. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm gonna be this person that you don't gonna like. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I know it's kind of messed up, but sometimes people draw you there, and now they don't like what you do now. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'll tell you a little thing before I go. You know, there was a lady in my building at this time when I was growing up, you know, and at this time, I ain't had a job at this time, but I finally got a job. I was working. I ain't had no kids at the time. It was like in 2008. And, I kept it real with my wife. You know, she was my girl at the time. And I'm gonna be real, you know, I'm gonna tell her right now. So, it was this girl that I knew that we grew up together, you know what I'm saying? She was like 3 or 4 years older than me, whatever. And, I was 20 years old at the time, and she was like 23, 24, right? So I was like, okay, cool, okay. She driving, she got a car. I didn't have a car at the time, you know what I mean? I knew how to drive, but I didn't have my license at the time, you know? I was like, well, damn. I'm like, all right, all right, things looking a little good for me now. I got my job and taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying? And she always liked me. She always wanted to be with me, you know. But I didn't want to be with her, but I didn't mind dealing with her or you know, spending time with her. But I knew that she had attitude problems. She could get a little nasty at times, you know, but it didn't bother me, right? So one day, you know, she told me, oh, yo, we need to go out and, you know, chill out for a bit. I said, all right, cool. I said, so I went to my girl house, and you know, her sister boyfriend now is my brother-in-law, and they had his cousin come over, but he was already there. You know, he was already chilling with them. Whatever. So And he came by because we all live in the same area. So I already knew my brother-in-law because I knew him because we all from the same neighborhood, right? You know, we all from the same part of Brooklyn, but different part in that. We live in different areas in that part, right? Okay, but we all know each other. So I'm there, whatever. They were going to the movies, whatever. So I'm at the house with them. I'm talking with them. We chilling, boom, boom. So they going to go to movies, and then my wife at the time, she said, "Oh, I'm going to movies with them too." And I said, "You going to movies with them?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she said, "Oh, her cousin coming too." I'm looking like, you gonna go? And she went. Right? I said, okay. I left. I went home. So I ain't call her. I ain't answer her no more. None of that. I said, man, I'm done with her. You know what I mean? Because you wasn't supposed to do that. So I said, okay, cool, no problem. I said, no problem. So I called the girl. I said, yo, listen, what you want to do? You want to go to the movies, get some dinner and stuff? She said, oh, she was happy. Yeah. I like that. I said, well, listen. I said, all right, look. When I get off of work, I get off at 6 in the morning. I'm going to go in the house. I'm going to shower, whatever. We'll go back out around like 1 o'clock, 1:30. She said, okay. I got upstairs, took a shower, went to sleep, got back up. It was time for me to go have some fun. I took another shower. She knocked on my door. She came in the house. She talked to my mother. Boom. I was like, yo, all right, yo, what you want to do? She was hugging me. She was smelling good, looking good. She was looking really good, man. Smelling good. I said, oh, man. Right? And I said, damn, man, we went to the movie theaters. Yo, I had a good time with her, man. And I said, damn, man. I said, I should have been did this with her, right? And then to make a long story short, my girl finally called. She called the house. And my mother told her. My mother said, oh, Marnell went out. She said, oh, he went out? She like, yeah, he went to the movies. He went to the movie? Oh, okay. Can you tell her I called? I wasn't answering. She was calling my phone. I had the razor phone. And I wasn't answering. I was just annoying her. I was pissed the fuck off. And I was ready, man, my mom said, I'm done. But I did broke up with her. I broke up with her. After I got tired, I said, I'm done with you. You know what I mean? And she, she cried, whatever. She like she cared, but then I kind of rekindled. We're trying to work things out, all right? So before that happened, we left. We came back. We went to a Spanish restaurant. Me and the girl ate. We talked on the bench with her. Boom. She gave me a hug, and she held me tight. I gave her a kiss. You know what I mean, on her cheek, whatever. I'm trying to be, you know what I mean. So she was like, yo, you can come upstairs if you want. I mean, you know what that means. She wanted to do whatever. And I was like, yo, listen, I got some plans I got to do. I got to take care of, but I'm going to get back out. I'm going to get back with you. So my girl, she was calling me all week. I wasn't even answering her no more. You know what I'm saying? So I finally answered her. She's like, hey, what's up? I said, what's going on? Like, I'm giving you a call back. What's up? She's like, oh, no, I'll call you a couple times, and your mom, and I'll call yourself when you're in. I said, yeah, I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff going on with my life. What's up? And she looked at me like, why you acting like, why you talking like that? Like you're not with me no more. I said, nah. I said, because I said the way, I said that what you did to me, you know what I'm saying? You have the nerve to go to the movie theaters with somebody else. Oh, I said, y'all making it like it was a double date. Y'all disrespecting me, yo. She said, no, it wasn't like, there wasn't no double date. I was just going on because, I said, nah, man, you should have said no, man. So she said, oh, yo, I said, what? I said, yo, you want to come? You want to come over? You want to come by my crib? What's going on? You want to talk? Yeah, I'll come by, whatever. She came by my house, right? But I ain't allow her to go upstairs. I ain't allow her to come upstairs. We sat on a bench. I was talking, whatever. And then the girl come downstairs that we went to the movie. So I hugged her, whatever, boom, boom. She said, oh, man, that was, yo, man. And her and my wife don't get on to this day. They don't like each other. And then even to this day, And I told her, yo, I said, she said, yo, it was, yo, I'm glad that we went out. We had a good time. But she knows she was doing, trying to make her feel hurt. You know what I mean? And so I kind of looked at him like, yo, why you do that shit? But in my mind, I'm like, hey, what it is, what it is. I don't give a fuck. And so she looked at me and she's like, oh, okay. She's like, but listen, if you want to go back out again, let me know, whatever. And yo, I had a good time with you. And she left. So she don't know what else we did. She don't know. But I ain't had sex with the girl, but she don't know. Then, make a long story short, I explained to my girl at the time. I said, yo, listen. But me and I went out to the movies and went out to get some eat. I told her, I don't give a fuck. I said, yeah, we had a good time. And she was sitting in this quiet, oh, okay, all right. I was like, yeah. I said, yeah. So I was like, yeah, like you went out and had a good time with your fucking sister and her boyfriend and his cousin. You know? So she kind of like, oh, I was like, yo, you think my world stopped because you doing shit? You ain't thinking about me? She said, no, I wasn't meaning like that. I wasn't trying to, she may not mean like that, but she went wrong about it. I wasn't fucking with that. I'm like, I would never do no shit like that to you. Never. I would never ever do no shit like that. And certain days she would do shit like that would piss me off. You know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to get back and do things deliberately, but I knew right then and there, so I'm gonna start doing things what I want to do. I don't care if she know or she don't know. You know, so, but she's still with me. She ain't going nowhere. You know, so it is what it is. But I'm saying this is that we have to grow up and put things behind us and mature and move forward. And I'm just using myself as an example. I'm not trying to disrespect my wife in no way on here. I'm just saying that I'm using it as an example when we was boyfriend, girlfriend, when we was young. You know what I mean? Because just Jake and Eve sometimes get caught up in certain shit and then they do certain things. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. So, you know, sometimes we get caught up in certain things, man. So we got to be mindful of how we treat each other. Or how you treat someone, don't expect them to feel or do the same way. So, you know, and not saying you got to act on it, but just know that you got the right to now. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you treat people according to how you want to be treated. If you treating people fucked up, expect fucked up results. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, you know. But I ain't gonna make this video long. That's all I wanted to say, man. If you guys want to read more about marriages, go read the book of Tobit. You know, beautiful marriage that they had there. Go to Proverbs, you know, go to Titus, you know, read the scriptures, man. But I say all this is that a loving wife is supposed to be a pillar of rest to you, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, my wife is, you know, she do a lot of things to help me, and she did more good than bad. That's why I kept her. At one point, it was getting a little more bad than good. I was like, I'm calling this shit off. Or then she got her mind right. She started, you know, trying to correct it because she didn't want that relationship to end. You know what I mean? But like I said, it doesn't mean that she wasn't doing little things here and there, because that's her character. You know, I married her because it's like that's what she learned from her moms. That's what she learned. She learned those type of certain things, you know what I mean, around them. How she's moving, that's how the females in her family act. So I always tell men, you marry her, that's what you're gonna marry basically to the family. Not saying you're gonna deal with the family personally, but the thing that they do or behave, that's what she's going to show those signs and characteristics. Like, no, I'm not saying all of it, but she's going to do certain things that's going to remind her what you see, or how they treat men in their relationships, in their family. So that's why you got to move accordingly. You feel me? So like I always tell my wife, I said, don't ever think in this life that you might all to be all. You're not. But you're one of the reasons that you're still in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I told her, I said at the end of the day, I'm not going to feel no kind of way. If you want to move on and find another man, do you. And do you, you know? I'm not giving her the invitation to do that, but I'm just letting it be known that that's not going to hurt my life. My life is I'm still going to live my life. I'm still going to make it. I'm still going to do the righteous things in the eyes of the Lord. I'm still going to stay in good shape and good health. I'm still going to make sure that I'm watching the prophecies, reading his word. I'm still going to love my children, whether you're here or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a man got to think. These women come and go. There's billions of women on this planet, man. Once those women that's in your life, they gone forever, man. They never existed. They're gone. They are gone. All right? So you move forward, man. But you learn from those mistakes, and you try to correct them by being in a new relationship, and you're a healed person. A healed person don't hold things in the past to the future, man. So I hope it was edifying. I hope you guys learned something from this. Shalom.